Because digital devices are continually calling for our attention, it is becoming necessary to learn how to resist these multiple distractions, and starting from a young age. For the first time in France, workshops to develop attention span have been designed based on research studies. These workshops are the result of a collaboration of the neuroscientist Jean-Philippe Lachaud and the Education Administration in the Lyon region. Lachaud is convinced that we can learn to resist the siren call of digital devices from a very young age.
I never thought I'd find myself back at school one day. I thought I was done with all that. Then I started to take on the challenge of going into classes to design a training or education program about attention aimed at children.
Oh, look who's here.
Scientists are here. How's it going, kids?
The program starts as early as nursery school. Despite having attended one of France's most elite universities, Jean-Philippe Lachaud is ready to come down to the kids' level to explain the workings of the brain to them.
All through the year, we're going to learn a little bit about the brain, how it works, and how to use it best to control our attention. This is called the ATOL program. AT for attention and OL for school. The scientist can either stay in his ivory tower, or he can get interested in society and try to propose some solutions.
1,000 pupils take part in this program, which helps children prepare to resist the massive onslaught of digital content. The aim is to show all children that they can master their attention span, with benefits that will last into adulthood and working life. If the experiment proves a success, it will be extended to all schools in France.
What is the brain for? Put your hand up. For thinking. For being attentive.
It's not just for serious stuff, it's also for everything that's fun. What will be important and will create a difference between individuals is the value we give to attention. If for one person or their family it's very important to be attentive, if attention is valued, we'll have more attentive children. If you're with an infant aged maybe 1 or 2 and you start to read the child's stories, and whenever his or her gaze wanders, you stop, the child will sense that you're expecting a certain level of attention. From that point on, there are lots of little things one can do on a daily basis to nurture attention in a child, which can then be developed.
So we have to pay attention to our attention span. It plays a central role in our lives and is increasingly under threat by digital communication.
In an attentive brain, you have the involvement of the regions of the brain which are responsible for the high-level cognitive functions. For example, memorizing, planning, and understanding. Those regions will suddenly start being active, they will react. Whereas when the brain isn't attentive, on the contrary, they will remain silent or simply occupied with something else.
The attention training exercises continue. On the beam, the children must continually refocus their attention to stop themselves from falling. The mental picture of the beam will accompany them throughout their apprenticeship.
Staying balanced on the beam means managing to remain stable despite the forces which are tending to pull me to one side or another. It's the same idea for attention. I try to remain concentrated. I have an exercise to perform. There's point A, point B, the start and the end of the exercise, and I'm going to try and remain concentrated, even if there are forces that are distracting my attention. I might want to talk to my friends, or have an idea. I might lose focus on my exercise. It's about learning to resist these forces by remembering there's this line in the body that I set off. I'm going to relax and try to hold it all together. Stabilization of the body, of the mind, and of the attention.
Jean-Philippe Lachaud has come up with other techniques to help stabilize our attention. To better manage their capacity for attention, the children are learning to divide up their activities.
I have to tidy my room.
Tidy my room.
Tidying a bedroom is a complex task for a child. But if it is broken down into small missions, like putting the dolls in one box, the cars in another, then making the bed, attention does not wander.
All too often, children try to do everything at once. That's one of the reasons they lose concentration. What we're teaching them here is to separate things out into a series of smaller objectives. That way, the room is quickly tidied.